going on, everyone? As you can see, I'm not in my kitchen today, and that is because I am at my son's soccer game, little man. I know it's been a while since any of you that have been with me for a while have seen him, but today is soccer. It's an early doubleheader game, making up for last week's rain out because of the tropical storm that came through Florida here. So we're here bright and early. The sun's barely up, so that's why I got the car light for a little bit of an assistance because it is dark in here. So really early, got my Bang. It's the purple haze flavor, and it's one of the last ones that I will be having for quite a while, which I will go into later on if you stick around. But the reason I'm doing this is because I was tagged in a question tag video by KETOLICIOUS Life. Now, I was commenting and telling her how much I enjoyed her tag video, and she tagged me in the comments, so here I am. Now, this is going to be my first tag video, question answer, so just bear with me. I've got them written down here, and I'm going to do the best to answer them. So let's get into them. Now, the first one is, what does your name mean? Well, a lot of you don't know my name, but it's Richard. And Richard means brave, strong ruler, as far as everything that I've read. Now, in different cultures or countries or whatever, it might be something a little bit different. But my family is primarily from, Europe, England, Ireland, that type of thing. So from what I've read, that's what that means. So anyways, number 2, what is your YouTube name? Now, as you know, KetoFitChef, but it wasn't always that. Now, it did start off as KetoFAS, and that was way back at the beginning when I was starting this YouTube channel with Little Man. He and I were going to do this, fitness, nutrition, all kinds of things as a father and son team. But, just getting ready to start high school and all this other stuff, he just wanted to do his own thing, and that's fine. So basically what I did is I rebranded, and I came up with something that fit me. And number 3, where are you from? Now, originally, I am from Western New York, which is the Buffalo area. So that's where I'm from originally. And then about 8.5 years ago, moved my family down to Florida, which is where I've been ever since. So I'm currently in Florida, but I'm originally from Buffalo. So if you see me wearing any Buffalo Sabres stuff, that's why. Go Sabres. You're having a great season. Keep it up. Number 4, what would your parents name you if you were a girl? Now, honestly, it's never come up. I never asked them, so I have no idea. And unfortunately, neither one of them are with us anymore. So, I would ask them for this if they were around, but they're not. So, yeah, not really something I can answer, but anyways, number 5, what is your biggest accomplishment? Honestly, that's a tough one. I've never thought of, accomplishments so much. Small ones like, the first one in my family to go to college, played college hockey, that sort of thing. Other than that, I would probably have to say that through the rough upbringing that I've had, a lot of things negative going on in my life, everything from periods of time growing up where we were, semi-homeless to, being, having, drugs and smoking and drinking, being pretty, prevalent in my general, vicinity. I guess my major accomplishment is not falling into that trap. And I know a lot of people are struggling with that sort of thing, different kinds of addiction. and I made it my goal to not get involved in any of that. So yeah, I guess I would consider that my biggest accomplishment, and making sure that my kids aren't on the path to be involved in that or be affected by it or surrounded by it. So long story short, I guess that's what I would consider my biggest accomplishment. Number 6, eye color. Now, my eyes are pretty much blue, but they do have a little bit of green in them. So not one specific color, but kind of like a blue-green type thing. What is your favorite candle scent? There's a lot of good ones, especially this time of the year, for everything from pumpkin to apple pie and all that. But I would say that my favorite would have to be Japanese cherry blossom. That candle smells delicious. It is, to me, it is the best smelling candle ever. But that's just my opinion, and yeah, I love that one. Let's see here. It says number 8, can you cook? Now, I'll leave that all up to you if you've watched my videos. So you tell me if you think I can cook. I think I can for the most part. I think I'm pretty good at it. I try not to be, too full of myself, but I'm comfortable with it. Now, baking, on the other hand, that's a different animal. Unless I have a recipe right in front of me, I'm not the best baker, because with baking, you got to be precise. And most of the time, I just like throwing stuff together and seeing what sticks. So that's usually my way of cooking. I do follow recipes, and I do put them out, but I'm a little loosey-goosey with my ingredients. So yeah, I think I can cook, but bake, yeah, not so much. Let's see, what is good about my life? I'd have to say, my family, really. Through whatever ups and downs we have each other, and that's not something that I had growing up, really. And I make sure that my family and I are as tight as possible. So that is something that I would definitely consider as good in my life. Let's see. Now, what scares me about aging? That's a tough one. Other than the fact that it kind of scares me that all the hair in the north is heading south towards my nose and ears. Yeah, that's not fun. But I would say that the thing that scares me the most about aging is having to be taken care of, or having to rely on other people, or, well, more or less burdening other people with having to take care of me. I've always been the one to take care of everybody around me, and I know that there's a lot to it, and I don't want to put that on my family or anything. So I guess, yeah, just burdening them, or having them feel that they need to take care of me is probably the thing that scares me the most about aging. Let's see. What's my favorite holiday? I would have to say Christmas, for a lot of reasons. Probably the same as everybody else. The family, the food, watching the kids open up the presents, that sort of thing. Cooler weather. So yeah, I just love it. Let's see, guilty pleasure. That's number 12. And I don't know, it would have to be something, honestly, I love sitting around and just playing my video games. If I have a chance to just chill out and zone out and kind of set myself away from the world, I love playing, my games. My biggest one is Fallout 4. That's my favorite game. I can play that forever. So let's see here. Number 13, what shows do I binge? I would have to go with Stranger Things and most of the Marvel comic book TV shows. So those are primarily the ones that I like to binge. There's some other ones, but those are the primary ones. Let's see. What do you not leave the house without? I know there's a typical phone and keys and all that other stuff, but as far as I'm concerned, I never leave the house without telling every single person in that house that I love them. That's just me. That's just how I am. I want them to know that. Not to be a downer, but you never know what can happen to anybody on any given day. And I want to make sure that everybody in that house knows that I love them if that's the last time that we see each other. So, God forbid that happens, but I make sure that that's a priority, that every single person in that house knows that I love them before I walk out that door. Let's see here. Am I a morning person or a night owl? I would have to go with currently a morning person. I used to be a night owl, stay up all night and do stuff, but with my work and just people being up and everything, if I want to do anything like my recipe videos or play my game or anything like that, I get up early before everybody else gets up, and then I have the whole house to myself. It's nice and quiet. I can do whatever I want. So I've transitioned from a night person to a morning person. Let's see. Favorite genre of movie? I'm gonna have to. It's kind of a toss-up between like supernatural, anything from like ghosts, zombies, that sort of thing, and comic book movies. Most of them. Some of them are terrible. Some of them are fantastic, and I love them. See, the last thing that I bought, probably, nothing spectacular. I really don't buy things for myself. The only thing I really buy is groceries for recipe videos, which I got one coming up that I'm working on now, shameless plug. So keep an eye out for that and make sure that you check back. Speaking of which, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that way when I do post it, let's see. Introvert or extrovert? Well, for the most part, I'm very introvert when I don't know someone or when I'm in a new place, because I always want to feel it out, get a feel for the room, see if it's somewhere I feel comfortable, and how I'm not a fake person, but and I know that in some situations you need to pull back a little bit, and some situations you can just let loose. So once I feel comfortable, I'm very extrovert, and very outgoing. So yeah, there's that one. Number 19 would be favorite book. I used to read constantly. I've read a lot of books, but my favorite book would have to be a book series, and that would be the Odd Thomas books by Dean Koontz. He's my favorite author, and I love all the stuff that he writes, but particularly the Odd Thomas series. So I'm gonna have to go with that one. There's other books that he's written and that other people have written, but I'm gonna have to go with that one. Now, there, I believe, was a 20th question, and it wasn't on there, so can't really answer that one, but I am going to open tag anybody that wants to do this, or anybody that's lasted this long. It's gone quite long, so I apologize for that. If I see, if I feel like I'm rambling, I might cut some stuff out, but anyways, as far as the bang and not really drinking it too much longer, that's going to lead me to what I plan on doing next month, which is November, and I'm calling it November. What that means is that everything that I think that I'm doing that is harming my progress, or maybe potentially holding me back with weight loss, or causing inflammation, that sort of thing, I am cutting out. Even if it's one of those things where you would consider it dirty keto or lazy keto, or even good keto in moderation, like everything from dairy to peanut butter and all that stuff, I'm cutting all that out. I will do a video going over what I'm doing exactly, so if anybody wants to join in on that, keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so that's my November plan, as well as other recipes, videos, and that sort of thing. So anyways, that being said, looks like they're getting ready to take the field, so I'm gonna get out there and cheer on little man. So that being said, thank you for stopping by. Stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.